Alright, good morning everybody. Before I jump into the video I want to make, I want to do a few updates and talk about a couple things. I've been really sick this week. I spent a week with what felt like I had laryngitis, and then that seemed to morph into more of a strep throat, infected tonsils, all of that. And then I got really high fevers, and my sinuses filled up. It all drained into my chest, and I just felt like I've been drowning the past few days, trying to get that out. So I'm struggling through this video. Please bear with me. Also, I have a couple of charts I am still not got done. One belongs to a child, and one belongs to an adult. You know who you are. Please be patient with me. I will get them to you. I'm just having trouble finding quiet time and time where I'm able to function. Number one, the last video I made, the law of equivalent exchange. I had several people that seemed to take this video rather personally, and I didn't see it myself, but then the emails just kept coming, and for some reason several people seemed to think that I was talking about my charts, and that I had an underlying motive of I'm not doing free charts, or I'm not doing your charts for free. And I'm sorry, I'm just not like that. I'm not that kind of person. If I didn't want to do your chart, I would tell you to your face. I would never make a video with an underlying motive. I've actually been accused of that before, that people took videos that I was making about one thing and morph it into it was personal about them. If you felt that way about it, then I'm sorry. It was not my intention. Actually, I had been talking with someone all week about karma and trying to explain that the law of equivalent exchange is karma. Also, we are currently in the age of grace and mercy. We have yet to move into the age of karma. But when we do, you're going to want to have karma banked up. That's why I tell everybody, commit that random act of kindness. And it is not my way of thinking that is related to money. To me, an act of kindness can be open a door, smile at someone, say thank you. There's so much more to kindness and to karma than money. Alright, I'm just going to, another thing, a couple of videos I need to get out that I'm struggling to get done. It is so noisy here now, 24/7. My neighbors upstairs are just completely out of control at night. They're now on the night shift. He's got his kids sleeping during the day while everybody else is screaming, and at night it's just boom, boom, boom. And if I try to say something about it, the noise just gets louder. So I'm just going to have to deal with it. I am looking for a place to move, and hopefully I can get a house around here. I have one roommate, and I am going to need another for a house. So if you are interested in maybe relocating to Las Vegas, preferably female. I'm not objecting to a male. I prefer somebody that's older on a fixed income, because you're going to find a hard time getting a job here when you first get here. They don't do well with out-of-towners, and everything here, you have to have these permits and fees and all kind of stuff. I don't care what you do. You have to have all this documentation and permits, and it just goes on and on. It's really ridiculous. They bilk you to death to work around here. So keep that in mind, and if anybody's interested, drop me an email and we'll take it and discuss it from there and see if we are compatible. And it's something I would hope would be beneficial to both of us. Alright, my next video, nature. The first thing I want to talk about is what is nature? Nature in the broadest sense is the natural, physical, or material world or universe. Nature can refer to the phenomena of the physical world, also to life in general. The study of nature is a large, if not the only, part of science. Although humans are part of nature, human activity is often understood as a separate category from other natural phenomena. The word nature is derived from the Latin word natura, or essential qualities, innate disposition, and in ancient times literally meant birth. Natura is a Latin translation of the Greek physis, which originally related to the intrinsic characteristics that plants, animals, and other features of the world develop of their own accord. The concept of nature as a whole, the physical universe, is one of several expansions of the original notion. It began with certain core applications of the word by pre-Socratic philosophers and steadily gained currency ever since. This usage continued during the advent of modern scientific method in the last several centuries. I'm going to stop there because when you talk about alchemy, astrology, you're talking about nature. You're talking about the four elements: earth, wind, fire, air. You're talking about the states of matter. When you say fixed, mutable, and cardinal, you might as well say solid, liquid, and gas, because that's what you're talking about. And to me, astrology, that magic circle, is completely natural. It's the way nature works. Now let's talk about alchemy and nature. In the Egyptian, which they do not mention here, the word is neter. N-E-T-E-R. And we get nature, nurture, all of this, and it seems to be a very feminine word because we get, like they said in the Latin, it is assumed this word originally meant birth, which is we associate with the feminine thing. Now, I want to talk about gematria because in alchemy, these gematria calculators that they're using on Google, they're 100% bogus, and they'll never work. They'll never give you the true essence of a thing because they're using the vowels. No vowels to L. They're not allowed. That was the Bibble Babble. This is how they did the Bibble Babble. So, because vowels are variable in a word, we've talked about this. The base root of a word is 3 syllables. It either has 2 vowels and 1 consonant, or 2 consonants and 1 vowel. So when you talk about the word nature, all you can use is the NTR. Okay? And any arrangement of that. Well, automatically, if you put an E there, we see the word enter. Okay? Enter, nature, nurture. Then we can swap these letters around. We can use it as intern. We can turn. We can also Saturn. Saturn is the god of agriculture. Well, I thought nature was the physical world and Jupiter had to do with the physical. Yes, he does. Jupiter deals with the physical world and Saturn deals with the spiritual world. But when you talk about, and God breathed the breath of life into Adam, that breath of life breathing God is Saturn. You see, material world is just material world. The thing that really makes nature work is that consciousness, that breath of life that exists in all things. We've talked about it before. It's that quintessence. When you talk about astrology and it being alchemical, its purpose is to bring out the essence of a thing, the quintessence. A lot of you will understand that, like essential oils, the extraction of the purest of the pure. Now, where am I going with this? I'm going back to fear porn. Because every day I'm getting hundreds of links to really, some of it's good information, but most of it is fear porn, and it's designed to throw you into the lower chakras. And when you put this stuff in your, look, let me show you something. So many of you are so concerned about things like fluoride, what's in our food, they're killing our body, right? When you talk about Jupiter, you're talking about the body. But when you talk about the soul, you're talking about Saturn. And what you put in your mouth feeds your body. But what about what you're putting in your mind? You're feeding your soul, or you're killing it. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? And I understand it's addictive, or you think you want to know. Well, if you can walk through that fear porn without it affecting you emotionally, if you don't become angry, if you are just completely disdain to it, if you have zero emotional reaction, then you can walk through it all day long and it don't hurt you. But when you feed on this shit, and that's what I'm calling it, it's shit, it's propaganda. To me, the truther community played right into the hands of the powers that be. They jumped on the bandwagon. They started pointing fingers. They created separation, hate, disharmony, mistrust, with all this fear, and it just kept shoving everybody into the lower chakras. And they become addicted to that. You have a slight adrenaline rush, even with anger. You have this adrenaline rush. And more channels are becoming 100% negative. And by God, misery loves company. I've watched it. You try to talk to somebody about their channel being negative, and they're just going to waylay your ass. I'm going to let a sleeping dog lie. If that's what you want to feed your soul, fine. It's not my business. But here on my channel, I am going to warn you about it, because this is part of alchemy. It's to keep you in those lower chakras. You will never find peace until you can bring it all up. Until you can control, in that base chakra, control your emotions. The last lesson being control that tongue. Watch what you say. People are all concerned about going vegan or don't eat meat and this and that. They're poisoning us. You're poisoning your damn self. A lot worse. The body is going to shed like a snake's skin when you go through this thing you call death. But your soul, which is in your mind, your memories, is eternal. And you feed it crap, garbage, the shit in the bottom of the dumpster. And I'm not kidding. I get some horrific links. Well, we need to know this. In my opinion, most of what you are seeing is staged. 99% of it is not even real. It's put there to make you react. There is no difference between Democrat and Republican. They go to the same damn parties. They work in the same damn building. They're friends. They went to college together. They grew up together. The only time they appear separate is when they appear for us in front of the cameras. And they're there to evoke an emotion. Now, and you can't say, if they tell you to go left, you need to go right. No. they always only give you two choices when there's always that middle path. You can always not react. Do not respond. Don't bite the bait. You're being baited. And it seems like every day, what I call more and more bait is showing up on my channel. And it's more horrific and worse. And people want you to look at it and respond to it. What do you think about this, Levette? Oh my gosh, I don't think about it. Because if I do, I'm empowering it. You got empower. For the empire, and you're playing right into their hands. They don't have to do anything. You're doing it for them. They didn't do anything to you. You chose to respond. You chose to react. And it makes you sick. It makes you sicker than anything else you could ever put in your body. You can eat dead rats, and they're not going to affect you the way some of this fear porn is. Because it hits you at your core, your soul. And some of you get so upset by what's going on in the world, when most of it is not even real. You're being lied to. You're being baited. So you will have an emotional response. Because they like that negative energy. It keeps you in the lower chakras, and you will never graduate, and you will just recycle back into this cesspool. I'm trying to help you get out, but you must help yourself. I can't come into your homes and tell you what to put on your channels and not. That's for each of us to decide. Now, if you're a strong enough person that you can walk through the fire and it don't faze you, more power to you. I'm proud of you that you can do that you're that self-disciplined. I'm able to walk here in Sin City right down the middle of it, and it don't faze me at all. It don't disgust me. It don't make me happy. It don't make me sad. I'm in my own damn world. I'm in the world, but not of it. I've got my head in the stars and my heart in the right place. If I see a need, I meet it. I'm not saying I'm disdain to the world, but I'm not buying into this baited shit. I know it when I see it. It's easy to notice it. It's easy to tell, because they'll have clips and stuff that had I put it on my channel, I would have gotten a strike and my channel would have got taken down. But these channels are allowed to remain no matter what they put on there. Why is that? Because they're playing into the agenda. And I don't think you people understand what the agenda actually is. And it's to get you to recycle here. We are coming into a time when everybody's going to pop their pineal gland. Well, if you're running on the lower chakras and you pop that pineal gland, you're going to manifest demons. You're going to invite spirits in that come from the lower chakras. Fear, reaction, hate, sexuality. I mean, I've even had people tell me they're having experiences where they did the tantric sex, kundalini, pop their thing, and now they're getting raped by what you would call incubus or succubus. Demons. Well, there you go. That's what you get when you are in the base root. You have to bring it up. And that's what I'm trying to teach on this channel. That's what astrology teaches. That's what alchemy teaches. It's all about nature. It's a natural process. And we're all ready to, this earth is ready to produce fruit. It's like a flower, and she lets loose her pollen in the wind. We're that pollen, and we need to be scattered to the wind. But they want to keep us here. Everybody's under the assumption that they're trying to kill everybody. If they wanted to do that, it would have been done a long time ago. I promise you. If that was their agenda, no, we'd have been done with. It is about power, control, and frequencies, and keeping you here. They don't want to get rid of you. They want to keep you here. Can you not see this? And 99% of the people on YouTube are playing right into their hands. They don't see the bigger picture. They don't understand. The damn powers that be don't have to go out and make propaganda keeping everybody in the lower chakras. The YouTubers and the truthers are doing it for them. They're doing it for them. Absolutely free. Don't cost a damn thing. They're doing it for them. And this is going to be one of the last times I talk about this subject, because I keep saying it, but I don't think you understand what I'm saying. But it's up to you. It's your body. It's your mind. It's your soul. It's your ride on the wheel. You're the one that got on this ride, in this car, in this body. We're at the carnal veil, and apparently a lot of you just want to stay. Well, that's fine too. I'm ready to get the hell out of Dodge myself. I want this to be the only time I come here. I don't want to recycle, but I understand what it means to do it. When we, in our education systems, this is something I never understood about school. For me, it was easy. If I read something one time, that was it. I could regurgitate it back, even if I didn't believe it. I would argue with the teachers about it, but I could shit it back and get that A. But most people, a 75% was considered a C, or average. It's average. It's age. So to talk about a normal person is 75%. Well, I don't know if I would want a doctor doing surgery on me that only knew 75% of the information. Well, let me tell you the way alchemy works. In that astrology chart, in that wheel, it ain't going to settle for 75%. Sorry. 75%, you're just average. You're going to recycle. You're going to reincarnate here, and you're going to have to start all over. You must apply yourself. You really must. I mean, Thalem said, pick up your cross and follow me daily. Daily. You need to learn these elements. You need to learn this wheel, and you will understand how nature works. It's toroidal. It folds in on itself like a donut, and it cycles around itself. And some people see one thing and some people see another. But that depends on whether you're inside the donut or outside the donut. What part are you in? We're all looking at the same thing. Divide and conquer. Okay, it's not picking the left hand or the right hand. You have flat earth. I've talked about this. And you have round earth. What's in the middle? Everybody's right. Everybody has a piece of the information. To me, I'm eyeball earth. Everything points to it. Everything. I think the earth is the pineal gland of the universe. And it's going to open its own eye. When you talk about flat earth, here's the eyeball. It has a dome on top. It's hollow in the middle where we look. We live here under the dome. You can't go to the South Pole because that's the ganglia that connects to the brain. It's hollow through the pupil. So we got all of them. We got round earth, flat earth, hollow earth, and it's all in eyeball earth. That's why when you see the Freemason thing and you always see the eye in the middle, what's in the middle of the circle and the zodiac? The freaking earth. The earth is in the middle. The oldest creation story I've ever heard, and I've heard it repeated in several different languages, was that we live in the eye of the blue-eyed giant. Why blue? Because the sky's blue and the water was blue. before they destroyed it. But we live in that, if you ask me, we live in the eye of the hazel-eyed giant, because in places it's blue, in places it's green, and sometimes it's brown. So it's hazel. And we're all in a daze, in a haze, in a daze. It's purple haze, right? You got to think about the bigger picture. Don't get focused in on one thing and just beat it to death. Flat earth and round earth. You're being distracted. You're triggering an emotion of anger, pitting against each other, and down into the lower chakras you go. And back on the merry-go-round you will be. One more time around. Now, let's get off this damn ride now. Let's get off this time. And you're not going to do it with a 75% grade. That's not the quintessence of a thing. The quintessence of a thing is pure. What is it? Ivory, 99.44. That's what you got to have get out of here. You want that 100. You could even get extra credit and get that 101. But you don't have to have 99.44. That's what we've been told. And so everything but 0.66. You can add another 4 over here and make it 3. This is the essence or quintessence of a thing. And its frequency. It's free, the quintessence. It's frequency. It's frequency. It's frequency. It's all about the sound. Now, when you're speaking sound, when you speak to a baby lovingly, or you speak to someone angrily, you're spinning your chakras. Which ones? When you talk to the baby, you're spinning the heart chakra, connected Venus and Mercury to that mouth. But when you're angry, you're in that root chakra, Mars. You're spinning that Mars. And down you go. Down the rabbit hole you go. They told you, take the red pill or take the blue pill. Why? Where's the other colors? Why can't I have purple? Why not eat them both? Why not eat none? Why are we only given 2 choices? Why are we told to pick a side? Why a side? What about the middle? What about the up or the down or the in or the out? Why a side? Because that's what keeps you here. Y'all need to start asking the right questions. You'll never find the answers asking the wrong questions. You're asking why when you should be asking who. You're asking when you should be asking where. Go through the whole gamut. Who, where, when, why, what, how. And every one of them, every one of those questions, I call them the magic questions. Because they got that W. It's all about the W. That 23. That magic. And then you got the VW. She's 523 and 23 is 5, so that's 55. And that's why Sammy Hagar said, I can't drive 55. The new Golden Knights. Gotta love this one. Going to the Stanley Cup. They have the new symbol, the Golden Knights. The V that comes down, but at the same time, if you notice, embedded in it is that arrow. It comes over the back of the head, and it's pointing to the pineal gland, just like in the little cartoons. When I tell you they're showing it to you upside down, I thought it was in error, but I'm starting to see it in another way. I'm starting to see it as maybe a new way, a new set of symbols that we are being shown that are erased from, let's just do them. You got, this is air, this is fire, this is earth, and this is water. And what happens when you put them together? You have a compound, right? And they want you to think something completely different and evoke an emotion in you when you see that symbol. And you don't even have a clue what it means. It's either earth and water, earth and fire, or earth and air, or water and fire, or water and air. A male over a female. And we talked about that other symbol too, where they like to put that male triangle over the female triangle. When I'm telling you, if you want to get out of here, they have to be like that. Not one over the top of the other. Let's talk about true balance here. And this interlocking one here is still deceptive. I call it the changing of the ages. When you move from one age to another, when we're moving from that water to that air. Think about what I'm telling you. And please think really hard on the fear porn and the shit you put in your mind. It's so much more important than the stuff you put in your body. For it's not what goes into a man's mouth that defiles him. It is what comes out. And what comes out of your mouth is what you have in your mind and in your heart. And that is your fruit. And you shall know a man by his fruit.